Hi there, Taurus. Thanks so much for tuning in. We're looking at April 3 through April 9. And Taurians, every cloud has a silver lining. And even though the forecast for this week is basically cloudy with a chance of rain and maybe even hail, there are a few rays of sunshine and some good news. The first sunbeam is late Wednesday, April 5, when Mars makes a productive Earth trine to Pluto. If you don't take advantage of this trine this week, you get a second shot at the title in October. There's big news early the next day when Saturn goes out of phase. Now, Saturn is currently in Sagittarius, and for you, it's your 8th house of joint resources, investments, and intimacy. Now, Saturn is the planet of life lessons and time management. So you're going to get to have some extra time to work on any joint investments that you may have, and also on your intimacy. If you and your other half aren't exactly making out on the street, or really having some nice public displays of affection, you know what intimacy is, that feeling where you're comfortable with each other. It is something that you might need to work on, and work away is a good idea. The next 5 months of the Saturn retrograde period are not good times to try to change the status quo, especially in Saturn-ruled areas like your career or in dealing with authority figures. There's another ray of sunshine expected April 7, when Jupiter, the planet of good luck and optimism, sits opposite the Sun, which is in Aries. Jupiter is in Libra. This restless face-off occurs once a year and brings a general feeling of optimism, which is exactly what we all need. Depending on how Jupiter is configured in your natal chart, it can also open the door to travel and broadening your perspective through higher education. The shadow side of Sun-Jupiter includes exaggerating the sunny side of life and overextending yourself. A dark cloud is on the horizon Saturday, April 8, when Venus makes the second of 4 squares with Saturn. Although Venus is still in Pisces, the difference between this square and the first one in January is that Venus is retrograde now. And unfortunately, Venus retrograde in a square with Saturn retrograde is a double negative for love and self-esteem, and not a good sign either for finances. More storms are on the way later on Saturday when the Aries Sun squares off with Pluto. That's when your desires can clash with bigger circumstances, and you can get mixed up in an intense power struggle. Expect communications and travel plans to be off center Sunday, April 9, because that's the day when Mercury stations and begins its 3-week retrograde period. So it never rains, but it pours. We've had Venus out of phase, and now Mercury's going out of phase. Although Mercury retrograde is an unfavorable time for signing contracts and starting new projects, it's perfect for reviewing the past, reclaiming the present, researching the future. More about that next week. So try to do the best job that you can possibly do and have the best time whilst doing it, Taurians. And thanks so much, and I'll speak to you again soon.